everyone. How you doing tonight? All right, we got my little page here. All right, so I'm a photographer here in New York City. Got a Chelsea studio in Chelsea, and I've been doing fashion and beauty and fine art for about, I'd say in New York, about 13 years, but actually my journey started way back in the military. When I was 19, I decided on one of my photography courses, Photo 101, I was like, that changed my life. I took that one course, and instead of being a writer, I decided to pursue photography, but it's expensive, as all of you guys know. So I decided, and it was all film back then, we're talking like 1994. So got a military family, and they said, hey, you know, the Navy's got photographers. I said, really? They have photographers? So I go into the recruiter station, and I take the tests, and I do really well, and they're like, hey, we could make you a nuclear tech, we could make you this, we could make you that. And I was like, actually, no, I want to be a photographer. Can you sign me up? I know it's a job. And they're like, well, we've never done that before. I was like, okay, well, do you want to? I was like, well, we've never done that before. And I said, okay, well, fair enough. Well, I'm just going to go now, and if you guys want me, give me a call. So 3 months later, they give me a call, and 2 weeks later after that, I'm in boot camp. And signed up for my A school and had this whole wonderful experience. Went down to Pensacola, Florida. They have an actual defense photography school. I don't know if you guys know that, but there is a defense photography school. It's only about 6 to 8 weeks long, but they give you all the basics, including the basics of 4x5 photography, which of course everybody knows, right? So I was second in my class, and I got choice of orders. The first guy, he decided he wanted to ship out of southern Japan, and I decided I wanted to go to Misawa, Japan, in the north side. So that's how I got my start. So I'm in my little, they call them bells. They had the bells back then, you know, and you had your little white hat and the whole thing. So for 3 years I was in Japan, and for 3 years I was in Hawaii, which is like, you know, we're talking Bill Clinton Navy. There's no war. It's like nice Navy. It's you know, it's like we had a $35,000 film budget, and you know, we were like, hey, what do you want? Let's get some infrared. Let's get some 200, 400, 3200, some 800 ASA. You know, we had our own lab. So this whole awesome environment for me to just learn, explore, and do was right at my fingertips. But I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I know we have a short talk here. But this is me today, and I've got the best job ever. I get to work with these amazing hair and makeup teams. As you can see, John over there, he's doing makeup on the fly, literally. You know, we've got Alana DeGarza. She's an actress. You know, and these are just fashion and beauty shoots. Shoot for COVERGIRL up in the top. I think we had to make that from. She had to make makeup from album cover art for the Grammys, so it was kind of neat. But it's like I've got this, you know, awesome world here that I was in. But then 5 years ago, it kind of took a turn, which I got leukemia. So back in December of 2009, you know, you're going along, you're doing all your photography stuff, and you've got this great life, and things are happening, and then something like this happens. And it changed my life in a way that I still can't quite understand, because things that weren't important to you before sort of become more important. Anyway, we're gonna skim past that a little bit because it's a little rough. Anyway, while I was in the hospital, I found this amazing photographer, Sally Mann, and she was doing this. She's out in the field taking pictures with this big 8x10 camera, and she's got this dark room in her car, and I was like, well, that is just phenomenal. What is she doing? She's got a piece of glass. She's pouring some stuff on it. She puts it somewhere. She comes out. She takes a picture. She goes back in her dark room, and I was like floored. I was like, what is this thing? What is this what are you doing? That's cool. It's glass, you know? And I'd never seen anything like it. So up here, I decided I went full on into this thing. It's called wet plate collodion photography. It's the second photographic process. The first being daguerreotype, which is all mercury filled and it's crazy and dangerous. Mine's mildly dangerous, but daguerreotype's a little crazier. Well, my fixers can be cyanide, so that's pretty bad. But anyway, I fell full on into this. You know that experience in the darkroom when you see the image coming up? If you've ever been a photographer or have ever had that experience, and it goes from like nothing to something, and like you've just created something, and you're just like, oh my God, look what I've done. You know? Like, I get that every time I shoot. And so anyway, I decided to build a 10-foot by 10-foot camera just so I could shoot bigger images. I can shoot 30 by 40 images with, sorry about that, with this one. And down here, it's like a 5-foot extension. He's holding, that's my friend Adam. He's holding a 16 by 20 tintype of himself. So like I kind of go a little insane with this stuff, and that's kind of one of the big stories of my talk that I want to say. It's okay to be crazy. It's okay to go to the extremes. It's okay to be passionate. You know, I kind of went into this, and my wife can attest. You know, she's like, what are you doing? This whole thing's a fucking money pit. You know, apologies for this swearing. And anyway, so I was just like, hey, hon, look, I got a new camera. And she's like, you did what? You know, are you built what? Like that? That piece of furniture just showed up in the house? And she was like, oh, no, you didn't. You know? But it's that passion, it's that desire, it's that want to personally move my story forward through this that creates it. And this is what I'm going to get to next, is passion projects. I took a 39-day road trip in an RV, and then that's another thing for my wife. She's like, I was like, honey, I need to buy an RV. And she was like, you need to buy a what? I was like, I have this whole project. I'm going to do a 39, 40-day road trip. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to take wet plates all over the world. And anyway, we're going to skip past this to get to this because I'm short on time. But anyway, so I went all over the United States shooting tintypes out of the RV. And the RV is actually the darkroom also. And that's my 8 by 10 camera down there. And it's actually an 8 by 10 glass negative up top. But my friend Jim and I went all over the United States, a lot of parks, met a lot of fantastic people. Yeah, this is Carl. His family goes back to 1805 on his land, and that's the Lewis and Clark expedition, if you were curious. It was like 1801 to 1806. And this is Joe Bett. He's from the little town of Nelson, Nevada, which is where this is at. And his family runs a little business, and it almost looks like it just dropped off from like the 40s and 50s. And this is a little piece in Montana. We have Arches National Park, Joshua Tree National Park. We went all over the place. And so anyway, I've been working in this format for, 3 or 4 years now. And now it's starting to grow to the next phase, which is exhibitions. So it's pretty much my dream just to sort of continue doing what I'm doing and learning and collaborating with all these other fantastic people. So, and my question to you, what's the most difficult project or goal you've always wanted to pursue, and why haven't you started working on it yet?